This is a local business called Method. I suspect that many of the US folks will have heard of this. Some of the Brits will. They're over there too. Australia too, certainly Australians. But it's I think, one of the most courageous Challenger stories that I know, because it was started by two guys, Eric Ryan and Adam Lowry, with no experience in the category. So loads of intelligent naivety. Here are some of the questions that they asked. So two roommates living in San Francisco, wanting to be entrepreneurs, not knowing where to go, what category to raid. And they said, top left corner, what's the most boring, dull, drab, mundane, or out-of-date thing we could give a makeover to? Cleaning products. Procter & Gamble, Unilever, 1950s marketing. Like the sound of that. Why are all household cleaning products toxic? Adam is the chemist. Eric is the brand guy. Why do people spend $15 on stainless steel soap dispensers? And you know the ones, you've done this too. And they put $3 worth of soap into it. Because they want to show it off. They want to put it in the vanity next to the... So when the guests come around, oh, the nice, tasteful little stainless steel thing. Can we get cleaning products out of the sink, out from under the sink, where all of us put them, on top of the sink, and display it as a badge? May seem crazy, but this is the kind of stuff that led them to the conclusion that today a cleaner must function as a home accessory. Lots of house-proud people, design-conscious, style-conscious, give them a soap, a cleaning product that they'll merchandise in the same way. So they invented this category called designer commodities. And they hired a top designer, Kareem Rashid, gave him a big bunch of equity in the firm to design that bowling pin, which is the one and only reason why they got distribution in Target. So they're sacrificing practicality, the existing molds of the category, and they're overcommitting to a radically new design to get the attention of the Target buyer and get their brand distributed in Target. Their belief system, one way of expressing it is this line from an ad that they ran. The home is like a second skin. So you wouldn't put poison on it and you'd dress it up nice. That's what we stand for. They had a cleaning products amnesty. How do you get the world to pay attention? Symbol of reevaluation. You run ads in local newspapers in Manhattan saying, bring your poison down to the pop-up store in Soho, in New York, and we'll give you a free method in exchange. So far, so good. Except when you start walking down that street in Soho to get to the method store, there's a guy in a hazmat suit who's kind of taking it off you like this and dropping it in a big bucket. Now, anytime anybody dons a hazmat suit in New York post 9/11, you're going to get into trouble. Right? I don't know if you've tried it, but that's what happened to them. So all the TV crews show up, the press, and of course they get loads of coverage for it, making their point that cleaning products are toxic. Say no to jugs. So they made an enemy, a monster, out of that big plastic yellow jug, which weighs tons, and you have to get it home by inventing a more concentrated pump dispense. So there's innovation, there's product story, product truths behind this to back it up, but they're making monsters out of a lot of the different aspects of the way that Procter & Gamble and Unilever do marketing. And they've built a movement for a cleaning products company. I mean, when I was showing some of the chewing gum stuff last night to John, who runs the AV here, he's like, whoa, all that for chewing gum. There's no such thing as a low-interest category. There's only such a thing as low-interest marketing. So if these guys can create a movement around soap, you can probably do it for chips. They've got a whole philosophy worked out, and it's on the site, and they merchandise it to you. And they've drawn this community. The people against dirty is them internally, but it is thousands upon thousands of people who've gone to their store and posted odes and love poems to a cleaning products company. Go check it out. It blows your mind. And the final point to make about this, which I know is where you're going in the afternoon with this conversation, and it is critical, is that it is always about culture. When you see a challenger brand, what you're observing is the external manifestation of the internal culture. It's inside-out branding. And Method just published their book. They're 10 years old. It's called The Method Method. If you're interested in learning a little bit more about a brand outside of your category that's done this, pick it up. It's a really light read. And they talk about using culture as a competitive advantage. by branding from the inside out. And this is just a glimpse of what it looks like. This is the Lobbyit method. They have company-wide meetings. That's a company-wide meeting. On Friday mornings, every Friday, open sharing session, highly collaborative. They've published a handbook called Methodology, of which this is one of the rules. Yes and, not, no, yes, but. If you're going to create a challenger organization that introduces brave, courageous ideas out into the world, they get killed so quickly and so easily by the yes, but mentality. If you're going to go to this place of being a challenger, you've got to get into the habit of starting with a positive build. Yeah, I see the merit in that, and I'm going to build that. That's the way you take little, tiny little germs of ideas and build them into big, robust ideas. One of our clients calls them baby tigers. Right? It will one day be big and fierce and have claws that will rip your head off. But right now, you can squash it just by stamping on it. So let's not kill the baby tiger. Let's let it grow until it's big enough to fend for itself. Wiki walls. So you walk in, I mean, talking about your new building, Todd, that you designed. Wiki walls in Method. You walk in, it's like, it's open source creativity. Hey, I'm working on this package design. I've got some inspiration up here. You can't help but pass it on the way to your office. Please contribute. Hey, you, this is literally from, what do you think of this bottle? Tell Josh. Josh is the head designer at Method. He wants to know. He thinks you might have good ideas. May choose to ignore it, but he's going to open, be collaborative, and work with you. So when I see, and this came from a conversation that I had with Todd, and I'm not going to go into this in any detail because you're going to get into it this afternoon. But when I see you talk about the kind of things you want to value as a culture, innovate, collaborate, maximize your potential as a human being, put yourself personally into the mission. It's what all these challenges do, and make a difference. There's a basis there, culturally, a good foundation from which to build a challenger brand.